Yes, good evening everyone. Welcome to Lukmaan IAS. This is Takkar Rapid Series and we are discussing daily 10 MCQs based on today's current affairs. So we are covering 20 MCQs today from Saturday as well as today's current affairs. The lead topic is places in news, Reni, Seaport. Okay, so before going into today's 20 topics, let's discuss the today's quotation first. Daily we are discussing one quotation along with this, right? So those who are following, they know about this. Those who are watching this for the first time, this quotation that we are discussing, it is helpful for your mains examination preparation for essay and ethics paper. Also, it is helping all of us to develop our personality for third stage of this examination, that is personality test. So today's quotation, I don't believe you have to be better than everybody else. I believe you have to be better than you have ever thought you could be. Very good statement, and yes, of course, it is applied to all of you when you are preparing this competitive examination competition. So we always tend to compare with the other people, even our parents, they tend to compare us with our cousins or our friends also. So that comparison is not good, not healthy also. Even those students, yes, good evening Vijay, yes, those who are watching this session live, so let me also tell you that those questions we are trying to solve, you give your answers, try to ask the queries there and there itself, ठीक है, तो वहाँ पे ही आपके कई सारे questions, आपके doubts solve हो जाएंगे. Now this quotation is trying to explain here that instead of comparing with the other people, we should compare ourselves, ठीक है. So if we are, let's say for examination, those who have joined the Takkar test series, आपके लिए मैं बताऊँ, समझो आप last time 40 marks लाते हैं पिछले test में, so you should be comparing with this your own benchmark that you have set in the last test. The next time you should be getting, then in next test you should be comparing with yourself, and automatically you will cross the benchmark that UPSC sets, जो कट ऑफ होता है, ठीक है. तो इस तरीके से आप बोल सकते हैं कि आपने खुद को, सो यू शुड कंपेयर योर सेल्फ, यू हैव टू बी बेटर देन यू हैव एवर थॉट यू कुड बी, ठीक है. तो आपके इमेजिनेशन जो है आपके लिए, आप जो सोचते हैं कि आप जो बनना चाहते हैं, उसके बियॉन्ड आपने जाके हासिल करना चाहिए. एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी कैन से दैट इम्प्रूवमेंट, और वी कैन से दैट दिस इज हाउ द सक्सेसफुल पीपल, द ग्रेट पीपल, they are actually believing in this philosophy. Okay, so you also focus on comparing with the self. This is very important. Yes, healthy competition is fine. So of course all India test दे रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे आपने सोचना चाहिए कि competition में आप कहाँ stand करते हैं. That is fine. But when we talk about the comparison in day-to-day manner, that is not good. ठीक है. और unhealthy comparison is always we can say that harmful for the students. Those who are living in old Rajanagar, they know this reality. आप ही के आपके रूम पार्टनर, 3-4 रूम पार्टनर आपके साथ आप कंपेयर करोगे, वहाँ पे उसको इतने मार्क्स मिल रहे हैं, मुझे इतने मिल रहे हैं. someone will say something about that, someone will comment on your, let's say less marks, वहाँ पे आपका demotivate होने के chances होते हैं. So try to focus on this thing, that you have to be better than your version of yesterday. ठीक है. Fine, let's talk about now today's 10 MCQs, 20 MCQs that we will discuss today. The topics are these one. Okay, let's go in detail one by one. The first MCQ, yes, this particular Seaport was in news, right? Reni Seaport, this year's prelims MCQ, if you remember. So different ports were asked and well known for. Also different places were in news because of Russia-Ukraine war. And yes, like Kherson, this was asked in prelims examination 2023, right? So Zaporizhia, Kherson, these locations were in news. So Reni Seaport was recently seen in news because of Ukraine-Russia war. Again, Russia attacked the Reni Seaport through drones. This particular port is located on left bank of Danube River. Danube River is very important in terms of inland sea transport in the Europe region. Okay, this Danube River that drains into Black Sea. So now as the Black Sea is completely blocked by Russia, so Ukraine is exploring the export of sea grains through Danube. ठीक है, तो Danube is having extensive navigable stretch, right? So yes, B is the correct answer here. Fine, that is correct, Vijay. Let's go and solve the next MCQ. Okay, location, you can see this is the location. Fine. Now, with respect to Sri Narayan Guru, yes, why it was in news? Because we are celebrating the birth anniversary of, we can say, Sri Narayan Guru, so that's why it is in news. So when we learn from modern history, socio-religious reforms, so he is the prominent personality, we can say, Sri Narayan Guru. He started the self-respect movement to destroy the contemporary Hindu social order and to create new rational. This is not correct, right? He did not start the self-respect movement. Self-respect movement was started by which personality? E.V. Ramaswamy, we can say, Naikar. E.V.R. Naikar, if you remember, self-respect movement. So first one is incorrect, right? He coined the slogan, no caste, no religion, no God for mankind to combat caste injustice. Again, this is not correct. He said that one caste, one religion and one God. One of his disciple had given this no caste, no religion and no God for mankind, this slogan. Okay, so it is incorrect. He founded the philanthropic society Sri Narayan Dharma Palana Yogam in 1903. This is correct. Right? Yes, good evening Anant. Yes, try to give the answers simultaneously now one by one. So, how many statements are correct here about him? Only one. Okay. So, yes, from southern India, he is the prominent personality, and especially for caste related, we can say, reforms, socio-religious reforms from the southern India, he is the prominent personality. Right. Only one is the correct answer. Right. Let's talk about the next one. Project Tamara. Why it was in news? Yes, give your answers. I will give you a few seconds to solve this. It is one-liner question. फटाफट आंसर दीजिए. Yes, try to participate, online students. I am following you on live chat. Yes. What should be the answer here? Anant, Vijay. Tamara Port, it was in news for water body management. Yes, so water body management system, C is the correct answer here. Right, water body management से related ये एक project है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का. It is basically the technological development जो बोर्ड है हमारा डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी का. नाउ दिस बोर्ड विल प्रोवाइड सम इनपुट्स अंडर दिस project Tamara. Okay, so such kind of term based question can be asked in the prelims examination. Be prepared with it. Now let's move on and talk about next question. ये देखिए टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट बोर्ड मैनेजमेंट प्रोजेक्ट तमारा. फाइन. Next question is related to the international we can say initiative or body from the environment section. So we learn this basics from we can say that whatever the reference book we are reading. So intergovernmental science policy platform for biodiversity and ecosystem services, IPBES. We learn about this, right? So it is having headquarters located in Bonn, Germany. This is correct statement. Headquarter. It is United Nations body for assessing science related to climate change. Science related to climate change or whatever the, let's say, compilation data that is done by, we can say, IPCC. And yes, it is not United Nations body. It is not United Nations body and it is not related to climate change. It is talking from the biodiversity conservation and ecosystem services. So this is not the area of its specialization. First one is correct, second is incorrect. Okay, so first one is correct, sorry. Governing body of IPBES usually meets once per year. That is correct. This is correct. We can say only two. That is B is the correct answer regarding this. some additional information that I wanted to provide you regarding this. Yes, this particular initiative started in 2012. 143 members. 2012, 143 members are there at present. Okay. Along with that, any state that is member of United Nations is eligible to become the member of this particular membership. Okay, and yes, UNEP provides the secretariatship. UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, provides the secretariat for this one. Fine. So, okay, let's talk about next. Okay, so Global Research Alliance. This was in news because the Minister of New Zealand has invited India to become the part of this alliance. So we can see clearly that India and Austria launched this. It is clearly incorrect statement if you are following the current affairs. If you are following the current affairs, you will get this clearly incorrect, and first statement is incorrect. Only answer is D. Okay, so this was launched by New Zealand. This particular initiative was launched by New Zealand. Let me tell you the year in 2009. Sorry. Now, what is this particular initiative? This Global Research Alliance is the alliance for the research climate change impact on agriculture. Okay, and providing mitigation practices, mitigation measures for this mitigating the impact of climate change on agriculture. Specific है. Okay, Global Research Alliance, we do not get idea किसके बारे में बात कर रहा है ये, and that's why we should be very clear having knowledge about this. The first one is incorrect. GRA is an international organization to bring countries together to find ways food without growing greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, so yes, this is, we can say, one of the objective of this particular initiative. So D is the correct answer. Let's talk about next. Right, tethered drones, sometimes seen in news. What is tethered drone? Okay, so as the name suggests, drones, it is unmanned aerial vehicles. But tethering हम जब बोलते हैं तो it is connectivity, no, connected to some system, some network, some server. So basically it is the unmanned aerial vehicle linked to the ground based stations through tethering. Okay, so hotspot tethering होता है ना, मोबाइल से किया होगा ना आपने कभी, किस फ्रेंड को वाईफाई देना है, कनेक्शन देना है, इंटरनेट, टीदरिंग जो हम बोलते हैं. So from that you can understand A is the correct answer. Okay, fine. Now moving on. Yes, Sanskrit is among the 22 official languages included in the, we can say that the term official languages हमने नहीं यूज करना चाहिए, languages यूज करना चाहिए. Okay, so pardon this, ये ऐसा word यहाँ पे नहीं आना चाहिए. In the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution, this is true. Sanskrit is one of the 22 scheduled languages. हम इनको क्या बोलते हैं? Scheduled languages. Statement 2, it is also included among the 6 classical languages. Sanskrit. Yes, this is also true. But are they related to each other? No, they are independently true. So B is the correct answer here. Which are the 6 classical languages? Yes, one is Sanskrit. Other being Southern India के 4 states के 4 languages याद रखना है. Okay, so Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, and one is from Eastern India, that is, we can say 4, 5, 6, that is Odia. Odia language of Odisha. Okay, so B is the correct answer for this. Okay, fine. Now let's move on to next question. Right, PM Ujjwala Yojana. Now this is very easy one. So all of you are following. Yes, online students, are you online? Vijay, Anand. PM Ujjwala scheme. Okay, so PM Ujjwala scheme, it is related to LPG connections, especially in rural areas. LPG connections, one of the successful scheme of the present government. PM Ujjwala scheme. The scheme comes under Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Now this is incorrect. Rather it is under Petroleum and Natural Gas. Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. So first one is incorrect. It aims to distribute LPG cylinders to women only from below poverty line households only hai. Largely it is incorrect. D is the correct answer here. So when this scheme was started in 2016 by the Prime Minister, that time the criteria was this one, but the criteria later on subsequently expanded to include many of the other women from different, we can say, categories like most backward classes, or we can say SC/ST communities, those having receiving benefits under we can say Indira Awas Yojana. So those were also included. So only hai ye incorrect hai, so that's why D is the correct answer here. Under this scheme, the free LPG connection and then the first we can say refill is freely given. Thereafter we can say the subsidies are also subsequently given. D is the correct answer. The prominent benefits, one, of course it is reducing the indoor pollution and therefore increasing the health of women, their productivity, along with that the health of children that are we can say very small children living along with the mother. So उनके health के लिए impact कर रहा था indoor pollution, that's why this is good thing. Second is that whatever the biomass that was being burned, so biomass collection तो women के लिए बहुत दूर तक जाना पड़ता था, they used to collect the biomass, तो उनकी health पे और impact होता था. Third is that of course the biomass burning is resulting into the climate we can say emissions, so air pollution वाला angle आता है, global warming वाला angle आता है, right? So all these are we can say reduced here. D is the correct answer here. Let's talk about next. Right, Article 371D. Okay, this particular article was in news. Why? Because the concerns in Andhra Pradesh related to education institutions, the teachers, those students who got admission through local quota under this provision. So that's why it is in news. Constitution of India under Article 371D authorizes state legislature of Andhra Pradesh only to provide local quota. So it is not authorizing state legislature, first thing. It is authorizing President of India to provide local quota in educational institutions in Andhra Pradesh as well as in Telangana. दो जगह पे ये गलत है, only Andhra Pradesh भी नहीं है. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana we can say. After bifurcation or we can say reorganization of the state in 2014, for 10 years this was extended. Now after 2024 what will happen? That is the concerns there by the teachers. So it is incorrect. Article 371D was inserted in the constitution through 36th Constitutional Amendment Act. Again it is incorrect factually, it is 32nd Constitutional Amendment Act. 32nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, so we can say again D is the correct answer here. Okay, fine. Let's talk about next. Okay, so yes, Alebi Dam was in news. जो फोटोग्राफ आया हुआ है द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर पे, सो दैट्स व्हाई वी आर आस्किंग दिस. अलेबी डैम, इट इज लोकेटेड इन टर्की. इट इज लोकेटेड इन टर्की. बेलोमेंटो डैम इज लोकेटेड इन ब्राज़ील. सो बोथ आर इनकरेक्ट. मलाना डैम, इट्स नॉट इन पाकिस्तान, इट इज इन इंडिया. हिमाचल प्रदेश पार्वती रिवर. हिमाचल प्रदेश पार्वती रिवर, मलाना डैम. ओके, सो ऑल थ्री आर इनकरेक्टली मैच्ड. करेक्टली मैच पूछा है तो व्हाट शुड बी द आंसर हियर? D is the correct answer. Fine. Okay. ये देखिए ये फोटोग्राफ आया हुआ है. All right. अलेबी डैम यहाँ पर इस्तांबुल. All right. Let's talk about next. Okay, so global hunger index, very simple straightforward question. There was this article in the Hindu newspaper from mains perspective. This was important. Some good quality data is mentioned there. Global hunger index is given by one of the non-profit organization concerned worldwide and Weltenberg. Together they are giving this. So confusing options hai UNDP, World Health Organization, World Bank. So you should not get confused. Now this particular organization is giving, last time 2022 India's rank 107th. Cause of concern, 4 parameters are used. What are these 4 parameters? First one, child undernourishment, then stunting, child stunting, then child vesting, and fourth child mortality. Remember this 4. Fine. Okay, C is the correct answer here. Let's talk about next. Okay, Justice Mittal Committee, it was in news recently. Why? For the rehabilitation of ethnic unrest victims, Manipur. Supreme Court had recently set up this Justice Mittal Committee. Justice Rohini Committee, One Nation, One Election, not correct. Recently, there was one panel established by the central government under the chairmanship or presidentship of former President Ramnath Kovind. That's why it was in news. Justice Rohini Committee was related to subclassification of OBC list. Subclassification of OBC list. Okay. Justice Lokur Committee, we can say this was correct. Criteria for defining scheduled tribe. Second is incorrect. Only 2. That is B is the correct answer. That is B is the correct answer. Okay. Fine. Let's talk about next. Okay, so with reference to Sun, Aditya L1 mission, that's why continuously it is in news. Basic से question हमने पूछा है. Nuclear fusion takes place at the core of the Sun. Yes, this is true, we can say. And this is huge amount of energy being generated at the core of the Sun. Photosphere of the Sun is relatively hotter than the surface of the Sun. Now, you should know that this is comparatively cooler. Rather, corona region which is very hot as compared to actual surface of the Sun. So, comparatively you should be knowing this is, we can say, comparatively cooler photosphere. It is incorrect. Solar events like coronal mass ejections affect the nature of magnetic field of the planet. We are aware about this. Already UPSC has asked this question in 2022 prelims examination, how the solar winds, solar storms are affecting the magnetic field of the earth, and the whatever the, let's say, those instruments which are using the earth's magnetic field, तो उस पे impact करता है, right? So only 2 is the correct answer. Again here, let's talk about 14th question. Fin whales, yes, it was in news. Fin whales are, we can say, second largest after blue whales in terms of size. They are known as greyhounds of the seas because of the slowest swimming. Slowest नहीं होगा ना, फिर fastest होगा. Greyhounds fastest, we can say होता है. Their lower right jaw is bright right, we can say characteristic specific है थोड़ा सा. First one is, we can say, incorrect statement. They are given the conservation status threatened. Threatened नहीं है, we can say vulnerable है. IUCN status incorrect. Only one statement is correct regarding this. Fin whales, species based question. You should be knowing certain specific things. You should be knowing the name, including scientific name. You should be knowing the habitat. You should be knowing the specific characteristics of that species. Then you should be knowing the conservation status. At least these 3. IUCN Wildlife Protection Act, which particular we can say schedule, and appendix of sites. Okay, Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. And then thereafter threats. These 5 things you should be prepared with the important species. Only one is the correct answer. Okay, let's talk about next. Bluefin. Okay, so preeclampsia, this particular condition is basically a blood pressure condition that can develop during the pregnancy. A is the correct answer. Again, a term based question, science and technology, and other which areas I talked about. Term based question, science and technology, economy. Third, environment and ecology. Fourth, international relations. ये 4 आपको तैयार करने हैं टर्म बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस के लिए. फाइन. ओके, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट नेक्स्ट. Reinforced aerated autoclaved concrete. Okay, the kind of concrete it is asking, it is a new kind of technology developed here. It is a lightweight bubbly form of concrete that was used in the that is used in the roofs and floors and walls. A is the correct answer here. Okay, so concrete है तो जो है walls या फिर laying down the roads इसके लिए use होगा, right? So A is the correct answer, right? Now let's talk about next question. Okay, Mitakshara law was in news. Yes, already UPSC has asked question in last year prelims examination about Mitakshara system of family, we can say, or family law in the history. Okay, so history section से ये question आया हुआ था, right? So Mitakshara law, why it is in news? Recently it was let's say Supreme Court judgment, a ruling we can say, related to the child that is born out of let's say extramarital affairs or not the we can say married relation, that is also entitled to the inheritance of the property, joint family. So ये इससे related है, that's why it is asked here. Mitakshara, yes, it is the system in which the property of the family is owned jointly by all the members of the family including males and females. Okay, so D is the correct answer here. Fine. Okay. All right, so dance form, traditional dance forms, Pullikali, it was in news recently. It is a tiger dance, last day of Onam celebrations, tiger dance, Pullikali, Kerala. First one is correct. Okay, Satriya dance is, we can say, a classical dance form from, we can say that, Assam. Assam monasteries Satriya dance is very famous. We can say it is incorrect again. Yakshagana, yes, it is from Karnataka. It is from Karnataka. Yakshagana, classical dance form, we can say again. Then Hojagiri is a folk dance, not from Assam, it is from Mizoram, Tripura. Okay, so incorrect again, 2 correctly matched. Only 2 correctly matched. Fine? Okay. Now let's talk about the next. Tiger dance, Pullikali. Okay. Yes, Satriya dance, Yakshagana dance. Alright, and this one, Hojagiri, last one. Right, so description based question here. The personality is described from the history. She is an unsung hero of India's struggle for freedom from British rule. She was a tea plantation worker gunned down in 1921 for the leading fight against the foreign liquor and opium that was pushed during the colonial period. Okay, so who was the personality? Malti Mem. Malti Mem. Such kind of personality based, description based questions are asked in the UPSC Prelims examination. Fine? Okay. And last question for today. Yes, how many of the above countries are Mediterranean Sea bordering countries? Yes, Mediterranean Sea is continuously the region that is in news. And yes, if you think properly, Jordan is not having border with Mediterranean Sea, rather it is having border with Red Sea, some part on the southern side, right? Tunisia, Libya, Malta, Slovenia, they all have, and that's why only 4 is the correct answer here. Only 4 is the correct answer. Fine? Okay, so these are today's 20 MCQs. So daily we are discussing 10 MCQs. On Saturday we could not hold the session, and that's why today we covered the 20 MCQs here. Fine? Any question? Okay, let us stop then.